Hello again, this is Robert from Speed Zone Automotive. I know it's been a while, but we have a relatively new project here, different car this time. Not a GTR, but a BMW Z4. Probably one of the most underappreciated cars that BMW ever made. 2009 to 2016 is when the Z4 S-Drive 35i was produced with the N54 engine, which is an award-winning engine, very good. But it is direct injection. So with direct injection, you're going to get oiling in the intakes, on the valves. You know, it's going to get carboned up. So I wanted to put a catch can system on it. Now, Turner Motorsports makes a very good system, not specifically for this car, but for the N54 engine. So everything fits, except I did have to come up with some little extra length of hose and a different mounting area, which actually worked out really good for mounting it. But I'll go through basically what's required. I'm not going to do an install video because there's already one on YouTube about installing catch cans on the N54 engine, and it's a good video, so it'll tell you everything you need to know. I'll just go over some of the points that you might need to make it a little bit easier. All right, so basically, you know, we have the beauty cover removed, and let me put my glasses on here so I can see real well. What you have is you have the exit valve from the PCV system right here. You have a secondary PCV valve in here, and then you have the exit valve over here. So the outlet valve, the exit valve, and then the secondary PCV. So basically what you need to do is, you know, unscrew this fuel line. You know, do it slowly, put some paper towels around there to catch some fuel. Not very much will come out. So when you remove this line, now you have good access to this secondary PCV valve. And you, like I said, unscrew it, it comes out, the internal comes out. Now Turner Motorsports gives you a block-off valve that fits inside the cap. So when you screw it back in, this area is blocked off because you really don't need it. Again, it's like a secondary system. It never really provided that much, so they just block it off. Probably one of the harder parts is getting this little collar off. I did it by myself, but it was a pain. If you have another set of hands, it's going to make it a lot easier to get this off. But basically, where this swoops down, there's like a ridge on this cap here, and this little, where it swoops down, needs to be lifted up so it'll clear that ridge, and then this just pulls off. Unfortunately, there's 4 of these little curved down sections of plastic, so you got to get a pick underneath here and be careful, you don't want to break it, and you want to pry this up and pry that up. So if you have another set of hands, you can actually get a pick here, maybe a little screwdriver, and have the other person help you while you're applying a little pressure that away on this. And as it clears that ridge, you'll notice it'll start to move, and then once they're all cleared, it'll pop off. Now, same with this one over here. On this one, I actually melted the tube, you know, because on the video they make it look, oh yeah, just apply a heat gun to. Let me show you what that hose was. This is the hose that was on there, and I had the heat gun on low, and the idea is, okay, yeah, you heat this up, and then you just pull off these fittings here. You know, this fitting, you have something to grab onto, so you probably could. This one over here, though, you're dealing with the plastic ridges that hold this on the fitting, and those aren't very big. So I would, you know, I'd be afraid of like cracking these or ripping those off. But anyway, I didn't have to worry about that because I melted the pipe. So once I melted it, I just put a little slice down here, and then it peeled right off. Now, you know, you're not going to use this pipe again, so it really doesn't matter. But the key is I start with that heat gun. I actually started to melt some of these guys here, or the one of them, and I actually had to use, you know, like JB Weld on it. Luckily it overlapped a little to put it back together. So don't use a heat gun. If you want to try using a little, you know, fire starter, one of those flame, you know, stick match kind of things around there, you might be able to do that. I've seen some people do that. But again, I wouldn't be trying to tug it off this fitting and then end up literally maybe breaking one of these. So once you heat it up a little, slice it down there, and then just peel it off the fitting, because you're not going to use this anymore. You're going to replace it with these tubes. Again, this comes from Turner Motorsports. This is really nice silicone tubing. Very nice, very nice. So you put your block off back in here, put your fuel rail back on, your fuel line, screw it down snug. Put this on here, it'll feed around there. Put this on there. This has a nice, you know, pre-bent curve in it, so that bends around. Okay, so now we come over to where this is mounted, which is over here, and you can see where the factory tubing ends, right there. And there's really no place to mount this catch can in there. You got your AC lines in the way. So the simple, really simple deal is I just ordered some fuel line. This is like 1/2 inch internally, fuel line, and some 1/2 inch connectors, and then mounted the catch can right on here. On the Z4, there's this nice little ridge right here, and it's not like super high tensile strength metal, and there's a nice space between it. So once you, and you have to bend this, the bracket, I had to, you know, smooth out the curve, but you know, can you smooth out the curve, make it match this, and then it fits in there perfect. And I had a little air drill, pretty cool little thing. Probably get one of these at Harbor Freight, and if you know, so this little right angle drill like this makes it very easy. And and you have to cut a drill down too if you use a full side drill. So get the right drill, cut it to where, you know, just a little nub out there, and then this allows you, with that, you can fit everything down in there to drill your holes. Once you drill your holes, you know, get the right size, put your bolts in there, boom, you're good. And this is a great location too, because this actually unscrews. Now Turner will send you like a remote drain kit that comes with it. It's a tubing with a remote drain. But right here, I mean, you can get it, and this will actually just unscrew whenever you want to check. Oh, and this one, Turner also has a dipstick in here, so you can like check the level of the oil that's in there just by pulling this out and say, oh yeah, I got a bunch in there. I mean, I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. And it's all sealed with O-rings and that, so it's not going to, you know, leak any air. But like I said, when you're ready to dump it, just unscrew this, comes off, dump it, put it back together. So all you really need is about 6 inches or so, and then 2 connectors of extra tubing mounted on this flange, and you're good to go. So that's about it. It's a very simple installation, and it'll keep you from getting those nasty fumes into your intake and on your valves. So, let me give you the part numbers too. Make it easier for you. So you go to Turner Motorsports, and it's kind of weird. They don't, like when I went to order it, they didn't have the whole kit like in one package. Of course, and they won't list it for a Z4, but just get it for the N54 engine, and then it'll ask you, well, do you want it on the, you know, the exit on the driver's side on the Padra? Get it on the for the driver's side tubing. But you will need to order like 2 separate things, but not a big deal. The catch can, which will come with the bracket and everything you need, is $180.76, and I suppose it was on sale. And it is part number, their part number, 3520645. Okay, and then you get the hardware kit. That'll come with the hoses, the clamps, zip ties, some other little thing, but mainly the hoses and the clamps that you need. And that is ES number 3178063. So there you have it. And that was $84.95. Now, if you want to make things simple, just get 2 of those kits. Then you'll have the extra tubing and the hose clamps, and you just cut it down, but it's $84.95. I think I bought 2 feet of the gas rated hose and some clamps. I think I spent, you know, like 25 bucks. So 25, 30 bucks as opposed to $84.95, but it's your call. That way you get the same identical tubing, and they'll supply you with the needed hose clamps. So that is it. Let me just check one thing. Yeah, want to make sure. Turner Motorsports, those are the guys. Hey, well, I'm thinking about it. Cobb Tuning makes an access port. Again, they used to support it for the Z4, but now, well, probably because not that many people are buying it, they don't show a Z4 on their website anymore for their Cobb Tuning. But they do show it for a 335i N54 engine, which is this. I talked to the guy at Cobb. He said, yeah, we just don't, support the Z4, but yeah, that Cobb tuner will work on your car, on the N54 engine. When I bought it, it was listed for the Z4, but needless to say, it'll still work on the N54 engine. That's the cheapest horsepower you're going to pick up. 650 bucks for the access port. You're going to go from 300 horsepower to 372 horsepower. You're going to go from 300 foot-pounds of torque to 405 foot-pounds of torque. It turns this car into a different animal, let me tell you. And for 650 bucks, oh my God, that's like, again, that's the cheapest horsepower you will ever buy for this engine. So that's it. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, just, put them down below the video, and I'll answer them as best I can. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.